Well, let's take a little bit of a hedge. I didn't say it's down to. I said those are the two favorites in the clubhouse right now. It's
to be clear, yes,
Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud with that number one pick. That's one of the reasons why they moved up. Now, number one, I think what Trey said is true. If they can move down a few slots and feel they get one of those guys, that may happen. I think that's a very slight chance. I had heard this last Friday, and then I developed it through the weekend. And I basically got the confirmation that I needed from the same person who, oh, by the way, almost a year ago told me that Trayvon Walker was going to be the first pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Which, by the way, I should add, Trey, you did an interview with Adam Pullman over at Caesar Sports, and he said that report actually moved the betting lines.
Correct. Big time.
Number one overall. So, Tony, the same sources who's given you this information, who gave you Trayvon Walker?
Well, he was one of the sources. You go to multiple different sources. Now, throughout the weekend, I tried to have two questions answered, which I could not, and that is how much say is the owner going to have in this pick? I mean, if Fitterer and Frank Reich are pushing for C.J. Stroud and Tepper says, "I want Richardson," is it going to be Richardson? Was not able to find that out. May never be able to find that out. And I also wanted to find out is Bryce Young of Alabama out of the conversation at this point in time? If Alabama has their pro day, if Bryce Young has a phenomenal individual workout, does that put him back in the conversation with Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud? I was not able to find that out, but it just seems right now, if the draft was held, within a week or two, those are the two guys who they're looking at, and one of those two guys will be selected with the first pick of the draft.
Yeah. By the way, real quickly, Tony, I find it fascinating that they're that high on Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real boom or bust, right? I mean, that's a big swing. I mean, I know the Colts are hesitant to think about him at 4, let alone someone taking him at 1.
You are preaching to the choir with that one. That's for sure. But listen, when you talk to scouts, you talk to people in the league, when they look at a prospect, they say, what does he do well? And you look at Anthony Richardson, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the arm strength. He is basically, you're right, he is the ultimate boom or bust type of prospect. Frank Reich is looking at him saying, listen, look at this guy's upside potential. Haven't seen a quarterback with this upside potential in who knows how long. I will coach him to be a fantastic quarterback in next level. I will coach him to be that franchise quarterback that he potentially can. I will tell you this. I talked to a lot of people who interviewed him, and they were surprised by how much he didn't know. I mean, he's got such a learning curve as far as the NFL is concerned, being a quarterback is concerned. He doesn't have a big body of work, and you're absolutely right there. And I've said this all along. He's got a massive bust factor to him, and it's surprising to me. I could see C.J. Stroud, but it's surprising to me that the Carolina Panthers are so high on him with that first pick of the draft.